Hello my dears, this is Sarah from SheHoldsDearly.com, and today I'm going to be discussing Valentine's Day decorating. Okay, I've never actually done this. I'm going into my 6th year of blogging, I think 3 years of YouTube, 3-4 years. Who's counting? And I just always skip over Valentine's Day for 2 reasons. One, I feel like it's not done very well, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And number 2, it's small enough that I feel like it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle, and we quickly get through Christmas, and then as vloggers and YouTubers, we're moving towards spring, and it's just easy to hide that one. A lot of people don't even like Valentine's Day. My kids call it National Single Awareness Day. So there's that. But you could celebrate just the people you do love in your life, and I'm gonna try to help you with that in this video. This is the year I really want to focus on it and get my mind around what makes really good Valentine's Day decorations. And I think just at this point in history, having some celebrations is not a bad idea. We need to get back into some joy this year. So these are the parameters that I'm giving myself, and I'm excited about the challenge. So it has to be in my house, or from the Dollar Tree, or the grocery store, or the thrift store. And I'm challenging myself to do 14 different things. I don't know, I just figured February 14th, it's a no-brainer, I have to come up with 14 things. So I may regret that, but I'm gonna do it for you. This is what I do not wanna do, these pictures. So super bright, super saturated, almost neon colors, lots of plastic, lots of things that say nothing about vintage style, which is what my specialty is, and it's probably why you even watch my videos, is you love the soft, timeless look of elegant vintage decorating. And there's a story that comes with it oftentimes, and it's something that doesn't jar you, it doesn't feel cluttered, and Valentine's Day is not really good at that. So we're going to have some design lessons along the way of how to calm down a lot of the very commercial, very plastic, very oversaturated, overstimulating Valentine's Day decorating. So the first thing we've got to think about before I show you what I've collected is we have to get the colors right, okay? So here's a couple pictures of what I mean. These pictures are actually, I pulled them from weddings. I think they were fall weddings, but instead of thinking like bubblegum pink and cherry red, think more of the burgundies and the peaches and the salmons, and so richer, more muted colors. I think a variety of colors. And when I say varieties, I don't mean actually mixing the reds and whites and pinks. I am going to show you 2 styles. One is has the blush, think blush instead of like bubblegum. More of all the pinks, so very monochromatic, and then I'm gonna do more burgundies and reds together. Okay, so I think that really helps to not mix the pinks and the reds, if you can. So I'm going to, first of all, pull some things that I had around the house. I looked at what I had on hand with my faux flowers. So I have a good selection of peonies. These are from Michael's. These were from IKEA. Okay, and then I have an IKEA pitcher. So look also at vases and pitchers and things that you have. I had some little ranunculus. I also got these at IKEA. These tiny little pink miniature roses, IKEA. And then this, I thrifted this a while ago, and then it's a French flower bucket, and then I painted it cream. Okay, so that's a good place to start. All right, the next thing I want you to check are your dishes and your books. So I found some red transferware, which I've only used once. I used it for Christmas last year. And so I am going to try to include this in my setup. I have 3 cute little teacups, and I have a saucer that I've already broken and super glued back together. So I had 3 red books that I pulled. I used these in my Christmas decorating and my 4th of July, and now my Valentine's Day. And now I want you to check art pieces and maybe little pieces of furniture you could use. So I have this little red chair, kid-sized chair, and I am gonna give this a makeover. It's a little too bright for me, so I'm gonna change it up and make it a little more of a aged burgundy. And then I did a tutorial a while back. I needed a window screen and didn't have the patience for waiting for someone to fix it, so I made one. I took a lace curtain from the thrift store and I made a window frame, and I love it. So now I don't even want the real frame. And I have one in green and I have one in white. So I thought lace, something lace as a backdrop could be pretty. So look around your house, see what you have that has lace. And then last of all, I found this. I think I got this at Michael's. But it's a wall hanging red. I thought, you know, super cute with the whole Valentine's Day letter idea, so I'm going to style this up as well. So anything you have that is that pretty blush pink or lace or red, isolate it and think about, could I use this? If I pulled it together as a collection, could I pull off a really pretty Valentine's Day vignette or something? Last of all, I checked my crafting supplies, and I found some little cute tags, toilet paper rolls, some lace, baker's twine, some washi tape, some different paper. I've got vellum, I've got pink, I've got red. And check your cookie cutters too. I had a few, I borrowed some from my neighbor, but I had several different sizes of hearts. Little foreshadowing of what might be coming there. All right, so that is a really good start. I'm gonna show you a few things that I grabbed around town, and then we're gonna get started. All right, the Dollar Tree. Let's go there first. I wish I would have had my camera with me when I was actually shopping. I think it would have been fun for us. I'll try to do more of that in the future. Okay, Dollar Tree. Their balloons are great, and helium is at an all-time high. There's a shortage of it globally, and so they are prioritizing it for the military and for medical needs. So it's just gone up if you're trying to do a party. I don't actually do balloons very often for parties anymore. I would rather do a balloon art or something, or balloons on a stick. But the Dollar Tree has not raised the prices on helium. You have to buy their balloons though, and then it's just included. So I love their really simple balloons, and they're $1. So they have red hearts and they have these pink hearts. So I grabbed 2 pink hearts. I grabbed a bag of these brown lunch sacks. You might already have these on hand. $1 for 40 of those. And then if you are doing a party or a wedding, little pro tip, these jars, they'll go for, you know, $4 at a regular store. The Dollar Tree has these in right now, and you can see the size of it. We're gonna give this a makeover and use it in our Valentine's Day setup. But if you had to do centerpieces, you know, 25 tables or something, head to the Dollar Tree for these. Next, I went to the grocery store and I got myself some red velvet cake mix. I got some gourmet chocolates, some food coloring, and then I swung through the floral section and I got some, well, nearly dead blush carnations. They were the only carnations and I love the color, so I'm gonna work with this. I also always check their filler because I like to create my own bouquets, and we'll talk about that. So I loved this eucalyptus. I also realized I had bamboo in my yard and I should probably be utilizing it more. But I grabbed this and we'll do some flower arranging. I also, of course, swung through Goodwill. I I found, it's a drinking glass, I believe, but it was $1.29, and I got it for the same idea that I want to use for the vase from Dollar Tree. This I actually got at a recent thrifting trip. It's a letter holder. Actually, I think it's cute for Christmas and Valentine's Day. And then I found this blanket. I probably paid too much for it. I paid $20 for it. It's brand new. It's a Target threshold. Yummy color, yummy texture. I knew you would understand. So I got this. So my first craft I'm gonna make is some envelopes. And I had this vellum paper. It was part of packing from some paint swatches that I had. So I need to cut it down to be printer size. And I have a printable from Ella Inspired. It's one of my favorite blogs. And I will link it for you below. We're gonna print off some little French style envelopes and fold them and then tie them up with baker's twine. All right, so one thing I wanna say, I printed these out and I'm making 8 of each. The template is not exactly what I think it should be, so I'm just gonna show you how I navigate around that. The other thing that I think you should know is that this did work. It prints these like light gray lines, which I'm just gonna ignore. But I do think these would look a little bit better on cream paper. They would look like vintage paper. So if you have that on hand, that's what I would use. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to navigate this sort of difficult template. So I turn it over, flip the 2 little flaps up and fold those. All right, then you need glue stick. Just put a little glue on both of them. Okay, and then there's a really light line, gray line, that comes partway into this top flap, and you're gonna fold it over to that part on both sides and glue right down the center here. These would be very cute for school Valentines if you had the energy. And then I am not worrying that this doesn't look totally cute along the top. I'm just gluing it shut, bending it over. Just get everything glued down on the back so that your front looks well enough. Okay, so I'm gonna do that with all 8. I made 8 of these, and then I'm gonna tie them with baker's twine. I'm gonna turn these into caned vases, and I made this for a candle class that I did for the ladies in my church, where we wrapped this caning. You can buy caning in a roll off of Etsy, and I'll link it for you below. And then we're just gonna hot glue it around the glass and trim it off. Just finish it off with this. This is called basket reed. This is what you weave baskets with. We're just gonna glue it and cover up the side seam and the top and bottom. All right, so here we go. I've wrapped the glass in, both of them in caning, glued it on the back, covered my seam with some of that basket reed, and now I'm just gonna take some more basket reed and I'm gonna wrap it around. Now it naturally wants to bend. This has a little bit of a curve on the top and then a flat back. I want the flat back against my project. So I'm gonna fight the natural curve of this reed And I'm just gonna work in about, 2 inches at a time and hold it, let it dry. And then you wanna bring it together right there and not overlap this basket reed on the back. All right, next I'm going to put together some little treats for my kids. And so I have this red cardstock, and this has a little bit of a linen texture to it. These are the candies that I got at the grocery store. And then I had these, I don't even know where I got them, probably thrifted them, but I thought they were wax for doing an, an embossing. They're for a glue gun. I don't have a glue gun this size. So I'm gonna attempt to, light it on fire and drip it onto wax paper and make my own seals. So let's see if this works. Works in my head. My famous last words. Okay, so it did work. It tore off the paper when I peeled it off though, so you guys probably have better ideas than I do. But I just trimmed it with scissors and I'm gonna call it good. Okay, I'm just gonna take my red linen cardstock and I'm gonna twist it. I just hot glued this in place. I'm gonna twist it into a simple cone with the linen part up. I used this on a wool blanket. I stitched this on the edge of a wool blanket. We're gonna use it here. And I love to hot glue when I do embellishments. So we're gonna hot glue a little piece of lace and top it off with one of our wax seals. All right, so I have grocery store flowers. These ones are getting worse by the minute, my carnations. I am going to take off some of these outer petals and see if I can't get them to last a little bit longer. So you can always do that trick. And then the other thing I want to point out with this particular project is that you can totally mix your grocery store and live, real flowers in with your silk. So that's what we're gonna do right here. Okay, next up, I got these cute little lace socks for my daughters. If they don't like them, I will gladly take them from them. And I'm going to wrap them in a toilet paper tube, and we're going to use this blush tissue paper and tie them off with a little gold. Super sweet. I'm using 1 sheet of tissue paper per tube. And I can see the brown when I'm done. So I have a little left over on this edge. So my thought is I will use this as a double to cover that brown. I'm just gonna tie these off with some gold. All right, we're gonna start with our tags. So get rid of the string on your tag. I have these little letter stamps that are totally beat up and I've loved them for a long time. If you have letter stamps, this is good. We're just gonna stamp the word love. So first of all, I'm gonna cut with my scallop scissors and make a scallop along the edge of this bag. Then I'm gonna go back over and I'm gonna hole punch with my tiny hole punch for where each scallop is. And then we'll tie up the bag with our little tag and string. All right, so put your little present in there. I have the flat side without the seam, and I'm just gonna fold it down. And then we're gonna take our good old baker's twine. All right, so my last craft type of project is to show you how to make tissue tassels, and you can use these for lots of different events, but you're gonna need some washi tape, some tissue paper, a ribbon, and some scissors. Now, I'm not measuring, but you want to cut off about, I don't know, 6 inches off the end of a stack of tissue paper. And then you're gonna come along one side and then another side, and you're gonna cut about a ½ inch and maybe an inch, so that like that wide. All right, so I've done both sides. You make a little fringe on both sides, and you leave about 4 inches uncut in the middle. Okay, and then you peel off, I think I have 5 sheets of tissue paper here. Anyway, you take off the very top one, so you're just working with 1 piece of tissue paper now. And you're going to turn it towards you and roll it like a little sleeping bag. Here we go. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And then you're gonna fold it in half, and you wanna leave this open a little bit. So you're gonna run a ribbon through that. And there's your tassel, you can see that forming. Now we're gonna choose, I've got regular gold and I've got a like lacy gold. And then I had to hot glue the end of the washi tape because it's not quite strong enough. So, and then that's 1 tassel. So I'm going to finish off the rest of these. Okay, so now I am just going to tie these onto a ribbon about every 6 inches. And you can hang these up. These are really cute for parties. Now for the red chair, I wanted to make it look a lot more vintage. I was trying to get away from the brighter red. So the trick with that is you want to make it look brown. So we spray painted it brown, and then I went over it with milk paint. The color is Tricycle. It's the Miss Mustard Seed milk paint, and it's a powder that you mix with water, and you paint it, and then it kind of crackles and peels on you as you go and flakes. So you can distress it and get a little bit more of that brown showing through it, and that's really key. Then when you're done with that step, you want to come back with a dark wax, and I like to use a good wax brush, and you wax on that dark brown to make it look even more vintage. So I like the chair better. I hope you liked this video. It was a lot of work, but it was really fun to put together, and I am already thinking ahead like what I will do for Easter. Maybe do something like this for Easter baskets and Easter table settings. So stay tuned for that. And let me know in the comments below which was your very favorite of our 14 ideas for Valentine's Day. If you want more ideas like this and ebooks, printables, little tutorials, you can head over to my subscriber library, and if you click on the link that I'll put in the description below, you will get a password to access all those, and I continually update it too. All right, so if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so I can send you more videos on how to make interior design easy.